What does transformation healing mean to you? What challenging have you overcome in your life that transformed who you are today? Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday. Welcome to our Transformation Healing Podcast. I'm your host, Riya Wang, a certified transformation healing coach. I help my clients through transformation healing to connect with their true unique power, transcend their limitation, and bring back the confidence, passion, joy with clear vision of their best self. I have been travel around the world to learn and share how the healing can change in our lives. In this podcast show, I have invited all of my guests from all over the world to come here to share their inspiring stories, knowledge, wisdom with all of you that can help you to bring better joy in your life. I'm so excited. Today is my guest, Kelly. I want to introduce the Kelly a little bit first. Kelly is the childhood educator and empowerment coach. Also, he's a single mom of two wonderful children who have transformed his life. Then Kelly also with work with lack of support and limited source, Kelly found her inner source and resilience, lived with the emotional abused marriage and build her coach business, help her overcome with her challenge, then transformed herself. Thank you, Kelly. Welcome to our podcast. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Riya. It's been just a pleasure sharing my story with you, and I'm so excited to share with your audience today.
Thank you, Kelly. That to life the abused marriage, that take a lot guts, lot of emotions, right? Even I talk about it, I just feel like a little bit of goosebump over me. So tell us a little bit, how do you overcome with that challenge that can help other people to be inspired? Maybe when they go through with their challenge, they can get some encouragement from you.
Well, I noticed, I think about a year or so after my daughter was born. My daughter is now 6 years old, but I noticed that the marriage that I had envisioned for myself was not the reality. And I kept seeing it's like, if he loved me, he would not treat me this way. And I am a very intellectual person, so I wasn't very much in my body, but I did notice something just did not feel right. And I continued to read and realized I am in an abusive relationship. And that was really hard for me to accept because I'm a very strong, independent person, and I didn't see myself as someone who would be in that. I did everything I could to change it, and it wasn't working. And finally, I said, that's it. Like, I'm stuck here right now. This is my reality. I can't escape. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources. But what I do have is I can build myself up. How can I build myself up? And so I decided I was going to run my own business. And it was like, I'm going to be successful whether he stays or whether he goes. And I'm going to love my children, whether he stays or whether he goes. So I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to stand for my own beauty and my own magnificence. And if he's meant to change, then he will meet me in that new space. And if he's not, well, I'm strong and I know that I deserve better. And so over 2020, that's really what I did, is I realized I can build myself up. I started writing again. I started helping people. I decided I was going to take what I was doing in birth advocacy, make it into a business. And the more success I had in my life, the more I was like, I'm awesome. I'm awesome just as I am. And I've overcome so much. And in so little time, I'd also had a house fire not too long before that. It's like, you know what? I'm the phoenix who rises from the ashes. And so finally, by the summertime of last year, I'm like, you know what? I am now loving myself and I know what I'm capable of, and things are happening for me. And he's not meeting me where I need to be. And I can let him go. And I left. I just said, okay, I'm taking the kids and I'm going to my dad's and I'm staying in the den with them until we find a place to live. I don't care anymore because my business and my life is just too beautiful to have crushed. And when I did that, though, this is the beautiful thing, Riya, is that he is now changing for somebody else. And he's recognized that that person that he wasn't serving him. So I'm able to become friends with him now and
Wow.
meet him there. So it's been beautiful. It's been a year and my life is completely transformed from what it was.
Wow, Carly, that's really inspiration. I think just the words you said, I'm amazing. I'm the phoenix rising from ashes. You know, have that claiming that word and claiming that power inside you. That is powerful. I love what you just said the words and signing and vibrate with that energy come out. Thank you. That is so beautiful.
Well, thank you. It was nice to actually hear myself say it again. Just realizing how far I've come. I know for our listeners who aren't able to see the video, they can't see the picture behind me, but I actually have a picture of myself as my soul with the phoenix.
Wow. Yes. I can see the photo. Maybe you move a little bit on the left. We can see no on the side. Wow. That phoenix. That is beautiful. Is you dropped that
I painted it. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. I can see you totally. That is you. That's beautiful. So I think a lot of people, when they are in the abuse, the marriage, not just marriage, even relationship with boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever the relationship they are in. So when they are in that abuse, sometimes they always feel the fear. If they left this, what that will be? So they have so much thoughts about how you can, when you start to regularize it, I need to live here. I need to self-care, love myself. Then by leaving that abuse, the emotions there. So how do you regularize that?
Well, it's just there was a point, and this is kind of sad, but when my daughter was about 3, I had probably almost a breakdown because I realized that things just were so awful. And then he actually cheated on me, and I still was clinging to that because like nobody is going to love me better. I'm not going to find anything else. I'm a single mom and like my life will be over. But it really helped to have something else in my life that I could focus on, even when that was happening. So I threw myself into my work and I took care of my kids and I started to get friends too. So I built up that friendship and people were like, you know, you're already enough just as you are. You're already amazing. That wasn't something I was hearing at home from my partner, but I was hearing it from other people. And when you start to put yourself out there, even if you don't tell them what's going on, when you show up and you love them, suddenly that love comes back to you and then you feel comfortable enough to share. And then those people will help you and be like, no, you deserve better. You can have better. So it was a combination of that. And it was also just meeting these amazing people and being like, you know what? I could probably have so much better than what I have now. I could have a better life. And there was a turning point too last year when my ex was like, you have to basically choose between your business and me. And I'm like, there's just no way that I can give up this beautiful thing that I've created. And nobody who loves me would actually make me give up my dream. So when you realize that nobody who loves you would make you give up your dream and that you can have that, then it's easier because it's like, now I'm choosing between my beautiful dream or this person who's crushing me like a little butterfly under a wheel.
That is, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for bringing that vulnerability to showing and to start here to showing that you share your stories. That take a lot of courage also, you know. So that is many of the people when they are in that abused emotion, sometimes they feel shamed. They feel they don't want to go out. They was in that box. They feel helpless, don't know what to do. But for you, the first step is standing out to find some help, right? To find some people who love you, who support you. So trust that. Then you can see, not just sit in there to say, become the victim.
Yes. And it really helped to just have something else to focus on too. Because I wasn't actually seeking help to get out of my abusive relationship. I was seeking help to just build something for myself that I could stand on my own 2 feet. And then I felt it was like, at least I would have some money and I would be able to do something with my life. And then maybe my partner will be nicer to me. And what I found instead was that I'm already enough. Yes. And I'm amazing. And I deserve everything that's good in my life. And I have it now.
So cool. Let's take a moment. Just repeat that powerful sentence. I'm enough. I am amazing. I have everything I needed. I live in my dream life.
Yes. It's
wow. It's just that few sentence, claiming that, I can feel the power in my heart.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. I always tell myself and tell my people who I hang out with, my clients, I always say, don't ever let anybody convince you that you cannot live in your dream. You have the power to make your dream come to true. That's how do we claiming with self-love. So I can see your beautiful face bright with the light because you have that love to yourself. Then when you're understanding all of that, you know how to love other people. Then people will be drawing to you because you have that light.
That's funny how you say light too, because that's basically my symbol. Is I take that little sparkly heart emoji, and that's basically love and light. That's basically my embodiment of myself. So it's funny when you say light. It's like, yes, that's exactly it. Is I realized I had my light and how bright it was and how beautiful. And it's like, you know what? I'm shining this light, but this person in my life is just trying to throw darkness at me, and it's not going to work anymore. And so I lovingly let him go. I didn't even say like, see ya, I'm leaving you forever. It was like, our paths are not going to go in the right direction. I have to let you go. I don't hate you, but I have to let you go. And I hope you heal. And yeah, it's been wonderful. The children are happier. I wake up every day, Riya, and I have a smile on my face. And 3 years ago, I used to be dreading getting out of bed.
That's beautiful. I think you are in the beautiful stage. Start from your self-love, self-care, and also tell us a little bit about how do you help other people. So we can see through how do you help yourself stand become the coach to help people who deal with their own family trauma, how to get out that not good relationship. What is number one things when they are in that relationship they can do, you will be share with them to tell them?
Well, technically my work is in birth, but I noticed as a birth worker that everything that we experience in our birth and pregnancy can tie into how we view ourselves. So what I like to focus on is getting that ultimate transformation for the mother so that she comes into her own power. She sees, yes, I am amazing. Yes, I am powerful. Yes, I did this. There were hard parts, but I can do hard things. And that translates to every aspect of their lives. And that's also how I managed to get out of the abusive relationship, because I started to see that. It's like, oh, wait a minute. This is a lot like my births with my children and how I was able to get through it. So the other side is going to be beautiful. And I'm going to go through this really hard thing to get to that other side. And I'm not going to let anybody take my power. But in the relationship side, every once in a while, I do come across someone who has relationship issues with their partner. And sometimes it's as simple as they need to have a communication where it's like lovingly telling them, this is what I'm feeling right now. I can recognize your pain, your fear, your anxiety, and how do we work to come together? And other times it's like, you know what, this person, if they love you, they would not want you to be scared. They would not want you to feel like you're not protected here. Like that is the space of the masculine, is to be the protector, the container for a wild feminine. And that can show up in all of us. You don't have to be male or female, but it's just containing that dynamic. I've watched relationships transform just by coaching them on their births. And it's been absolutely the most beautiful thing to watch that union just get stronger. And I just tell everybody, it's like, love is unconditional. Love does not expect you to be perfect. And also, it doesn't crush your dreams. Love is coming to that vulnerability and saying, you know what, this is what I'm feeling right now. And having your partner put their arms around you, figuratively or energetically, to be like, it's okay. I've got you. And I see you, I feel you. And yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful to watch in birth, because that's exactly the energy that they have, is that the partner was like, I've got you, and you can be as loud as you need to be for this. And in the end, they came together as this beautiful family.
That is beautiful, yes. So nothing stronger than the love, right? So when you feel beloved, you feel how to say, have someone next to you, to in the space with you. That's, I think you can come more stronger just by feeling of that. So you are special is help the birth mother, birth parents. Also, how about if someone come, it's the male who never had the baby, never have a kid, then they grew up in the abused family. That's even, I remember one of my clients, he's come to me before, he said, oh, I haven't talked to my parents for 20 years because when I grew up, he was always abused me. Then even now he's 50, but he still uses that as always in our relationship, he become very sensitive, become a little bit like overprotected. Is anything coming will become more how to say that, more defense. But fortunately, he recognizes that. That's why he come out. He wants to get help. When people like that, what is the help? You can give her some ideas, the tips.
Well, what I've been noticing, and this is working with family members as well, is that we all have our traumas. We all have our dark pasts or our stories or things that happen to us as children that we then come into adulthood and think, I'm not good enough. That's really what it comes down to, is thinking, I'm not good enough. I have to be better. I can't be loved just as I am. And when you come from that and use that as an excuse all the time, like, no, your life is not going to get better because you're still stuck in that story. But one of our journeys I've noticed as adults is that it's to heal that trauma, to recognize, yes, this happened to me and I can rise above it because that's not my story anymore. And I can change my story. And so as I said, I was talking with my ex and I know his story because I was with him for 13 years. And the thing is, now he's able to start to see his story and recognize that just because he has this story does not mean that he needs to act out the way that he was, and he can rise above it and become better.
Oh, I like that word.
Yeah.
Not because you have your story, you can add like your story. You can reason, you can rewire that story. You can change and transform from that. I love the way what you said there. So yes, that is the beautiful. I think people see how to transform is when you sometimes when you are in a relationship, you want to change another people, you was feel frustrated why you couldn't change. It's not changing other people. When you really changing yourself, people can feel your energy, can go through, look on the journey with you to see your transformation. That how to affect them start changing themselves.
Yes, exactly. Oh, just a second. Sweetheart, mommy's on a podcast. I am so sorry, Riya. She
It's
is
okay.
sick.
Yes,
So
yes.
here we go.
So
Here you go, sweetheart. You go and play now, okay? No, it's on. It's on. You go play. Shut the door, please. It's mom life. But
that
I
be
built
the
a
single
business.
mom. That's what you have this. Then how to divide your work. Then you have another one. Kids still there. But I think that's showing who you are. That's you taking care with everybody, especially your kids. So how old is your kid?
Well, my daughter is 6 and my son just turned 9 today.
Wow!
It's his
Happy
birthday.
birthday to him. Yes, he becomes a big boy.
He already is. I've taught him very well. One of my philosophies as a parent is very much like, yes, sometimes trauma happens to us and we need to rise above it and not just ignore it. So we had a house fire 3 years ago and it was absolutely traumatic for this little 6-year-old and this little 3-year-old to go through that. And they still talk about it, but I've really helped them to understand, like, yes, this happened. And then on the other side of it, we've got something beautiful here. And we can be grateful for that and also be sad. It's okay to be sad, and it's also okay to be happy. And the other thing with my parenting is that I like to give them just the minimal support so they can do things themselves. So my son is cooking.
Wow.
He cooks dinner for us.
Oh, that's so cute. The 9 years old start cooking. That's so cool. So yes, I understand your story to be the single mom, but so proud. Must be so proud, mom. You see how wonderful how mom have this string, have this lights. It's not just transform herself, also how to affect the kids grow up. They watch you. You can see how they can become, right?
Yes.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for being here to share your story, Carly. So before we go, we wanted to share. First of all, I always ask people at the beginning. Now I forgot. I just realized. Tell us where you are, where you come from.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in Vancouver, BC. So in Canada.
Oh, you are in Canada.
Yes.
Oh, and how people can find you?
So I have a website. It's called empoweringmomsbirth.com, all one word. And I also have an Instagram. So you can follow me at empoweringmomsbirth, or there's also the Facebook as well. So you can go to facebook.com/empoweringmomsbirth. I made it very simple.
Thank you. Thank you. I have quite a bit of friends and clients in Canada. Oh, especially this year, I meet quite a bit of few people from Canada. Most of there is just like you. It's so bright and so have the stronger inner self than just signing. I think I just love it. Love the people who come to my show. Thank you for being here to share your stories, to show up your vulnerability, to shining your light in here. So before we go, any last words you want to tell people?
I just want to tell everybody that the best way to heal yourself is to just start loving everybody around you, because once you see their brilliance, they then reflect it back to you and you recognize how amazing you really are, because you're a magical miracle just being here, and you have the ability to shine your light too. And that's where it all comes down to, is just love and light.
Thank you, Carly. Thank you, everyone. So I hope you get inspired by Carly's stories. If you have your story you like to share, you have your wisdom or knowledge you want to help other people, you can contact me to be my guest on my Transformation Healing podcast. Thank you, everybody. I will see you next Tuesday.